Hey guys, welcome back to Pandas Data Diaries. Today I want to talk a little bit about APIs and API responses and how to deal with them in Python using specific tools which can help you to simplify the process of dealing with API responses and especially deeply nested API responses. So for this tutorial, I'm assuming that you know how to call an API in the first place. So I'm just simulating an API response over here. So let's assume we made a GET request to some mock API and we got a response. So we're writing the response to the response variable here. So the first thing you want to do is print it out. And usually you get something like this. It doesn't tell you anything. It's a bunch of brackets and words and gibberish flying at you. So this is pretty hard to process, of course. So we need a way to simplify this and print it in a more structured format. So the print command doesn't help here. But let's look at some magic commands in Jupyter Notebook. For example, the prettyprint or pprint method. So this can be toggled on and off using this magic command, pprint. So if I press this, now it's turned off. If I press it again, it's turned on. And when it's turned on, which is also the standard behavior, I can just print it out. And you see it's already printed with indentation and it's easier to read. So we can figure out the structure a little bit better, but this is not the end. So let's see. When you process an API response, you basically have to focus on these two object types, which are dictionaries represented by curly brackets and also lists, which are represented by square brackets. So you see them in here, the curly brackets and also the square brackets, for example. This will help you to navigate through the JSON object. So let's first of all identify what type of object we have in front of us once we get the response. So using the type method, it will show this is a dictionary. Whenever you have a dictionary, you can show its keys. So this is actually helping a lot to understand what's in the dictionary. So let's just use the keys method and print it out. And below you see all of the keys printed out. So it has the events, total events, and month. Okay, this is already interesting. I guess we're mostly interested in the events part over here. So let's open the events and let's see what this returns. So also this here you see is a deeply nested structure and it's not so easy to comprehend what's going on here. But we notice one thing, which is it starts with a square bracket over here. So it means this is a list. And inside the list, there are multiple dictionaries. You see here dictionary and here dictionary and so on. So we can also confirm this by just printing out the type. And you will see this is a list. Okay, so if it's a list, what usually we do is we enter the first element of the list, which according to Python notation is 0. So let's print it out. And this already makes the output a little bit shorter, so we can figure out what's going on over here. And we see, again, it's a dictionary, so we can print the keys at the first level. And we see that it has an ID, title, date, location, details, and attendees. Okay, fair enough. So there's one cool thing that you can do with the pandas library. That is, if you have a structured collection of dictionaries inside a list, you can use this command here, JSON normalize. And what it does is it will load it into a pandas data frame. So you don't have to iterate over it. It just does it automatically. And this is super cool. So you see over here what it did. It extracted these 4 events here and already put it in tabular format. And it even went into the sub-elements for example, for details over here. You see this is details, and below details we have speakers, sessions, and description. And it already unpacks it over here. So you see it added these 3 columns. So this is already great. But as you see in the details speakers here, again, we have another list with dictionaries and here as well. So you see for really complex JSON structures, this doesn't work. So we would need to go even deeper. And there are workarounds to do this with pandas. But I think once we have such a complex structure, what really helps is to use another tool. And this is PyCharm. So let me show you what we can do with PyCharm here to actually visualize it in a more interactive way. So I will first have to copy the entire response that I got here, print it out, and I can copy this into PyCharm And in here, I will just open a new Scratch file. So let me go to Scratches and open a new file. Call it JSON is okay. And we just paste it in here. And there are two things that I can do. The first thing is I can hit Control-Alt-L on a Windows machine or Option-Command-L on a Mac. And it will change the indentation and it will already format it in a nice way. So you see over here. That it's readable and has the nice coloring to differentiate the different objects and so on. So this is already nice. But the real killer feature in PyCharm is the structure view. So if I hit Alt-7 on Windows or Command-7 on Mac, I get this window over here. And let me actually make it a little bigger. So this shows the entire tree structure of the JSON in an even more abstract format, and it makes it super easy to understand what's going on. So you see over here, we have the top level, the event, and it will jump to this section in the JSON. So this is the top level. And below that, we have 4 objects, the 4 events, and I can open them. And you see an event has an ID, there's a title, has a date, has a location, and I can go even further. So I can open the details here. I see the description and I can jump into the speakers section and move even further down. And it will show me speaker 1, AI innovations, and so on and so forth. So this structure makes it super easy to comprehend what's going on. And as I mentioned, you can click on these elements and it will navigate you right in there. So once you have this, it helps you to understand what is happening. You can deconstruct the JSON and find the objects inside that really matter for you, and then use this to write up the code to extract the data that you're actually interested in from the API response. So I find this super helpful, and yeah, just check it out if you haven't done so yet. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like, and see you next time on my channel.